listening to The Marc Cox Show. Follow the show on Facebook, facebook.com/The Marc Cox Show.
This is just one of a number of incidents. So yes, fake news has real consequences, and we've got to deal with it. And the platforms, the Facebooks, the Googles, the Yahoos, the people who promote this, who put it up for clicks, have to take some responsibility for this. This is very, very serious, not just in terms of our security and our safety, but actually fake news can help undermine our democracy.
Chicken crap.
I found this lady commenting on Fox News today, and I had to record that clip. She's convinced that the world is coming to an end if we don't fix this fake news problem with America that's rampant in America, with the suggestion being from Hillary Clinton that it has very real consequences. By the way, she started her speech last night by announcing that after 4 weeks, she decided it was time to come out of the woods snapping selfies and come back out into the public. So she's having a little trouble accepting the outcome of the election, too, sounds to me like. I'm just saying. Our guest is William J. Kelly. His website is citizenkelly.com. He's a columnist. He's a television producer. He's a contributor to the Washington Times, the Huffington Post, the American Spectator. William, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Mark. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing fine. Thanks for giving me a few minutes today. You know, I've been talking about this fake news problem, which my theory on the whole thing is we wouldn't be talking about this if Hillary Clinton had won, because the people on the left view it as another way to somehow suggest there was something wrong with the outcome of this election.
Amen. Yeah, it's only fake news when it's not positive for their candidates, their causes, their issues. I think the great outcome of this election, one of the great and hopefully lasting outcomes of this election, is that it has shown that CNN is the real fake news. Okay, and also all these comedy shows too. If you look at Saturday Night Live, Stephen Colbert. If there were, trust me when I tell you this, Mark, if you or I had a late night talk show in some alternative universe where conservatives were allowed to have talk shows, and we took the jokes that Stephen Colbert says on his show and just changed the names to Obama or Rahm Emanuel or Hillary Clinton, we would be called every name in the book, because these jokes are hateful, okay? They are absolutely hateful. But when Stephen Colbert tells these jokes about Donald Trump, he's a national treasure. He'll be receiving the Mark Twain Award next year. Mark my words. But if you and I told these jokes, we'd be called Nazis. We'd be called, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic. We'd be called all of those names.
Well, I think that's true. You know, I was looking earlier at the list of the websites that they're insinuating the fake news came from, and one of the bites that Brian Williams referred to. I almost laugh when I say it because of his reputation these days, but he refers to Breitbart because they've all tried to link Breitbart to the so-called alt-right and Steve Bannon and all of that when they looked at Donald Trump's tweets and the links that he included in them, more than half of them could be traced back to Breitbart, which they're suggesting is now a fake news site.
Right. Mark, you nailed it. Brian Williams, a man who even NBC had to remove from their airwaves because he was found to lie about his in his reporting. This is a man who has no business even reporting any news. It's amazing to me how people like Brian Williams or Stephen Colbert or Alec Baldwin, another one, who is given a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, where people like you and I aren't even given one chance. I'm sure the only reason you have a show is because you went out and produced it and sold it and produced it and promoted it yourself. If you or I even make one mistake, we will never see the light of day again. But look at a guy like Brian Williams, a man who was caught lying in his reporting. He's back on the air, and like you said, Mark, you nailed it. The fact that this guy has the audacity to talk about fake news, it's sickening.
Well, you were talking to William J. Kelly. His website is citizenkelly.com. You've contributed to a variety of websites. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Huffington Post, but you've contributed there, the Washington Times, the American Spectator, Newsmax. You're a columnist for Newsmax. So you're involved with these websites on both sides of the political spectrum.
Right, and if Dick Durbin or Rahm Emanuel or Nancy Pelosi have their way, I'll be back to handing out leaflets on the street to try and get our message out. As a conservative from Chicago, I've been fighting political correctness my whole life. I'm sure you know the feeling. It's really. It really is the height of hypocrisy for these liberals to talk about fake news when they're the ones who have been trying to silence just freedom of the press, freedom of freedom of speech. If you go to citizenkelly.com and click on some of the videos, if nothing else, you'll get it'll warm your heart. Trust me. I've tried to ask Rahm Emanuel questions about the murder rate. His security physically assault me when I try to ask Rahm Emanuel questions about the murders in Chicago. I've tried to ask Dick Durbin, our U.S. Senator, questions at press conferences. And in some cases, other members of the press from Chicago act as Dick Durbin's security and try to physically push me out of the room from asking questions. So the problem is that, sadly, at least in Chicago, the media is acting as the agents of these ultra-liberal politicians, Rahm Emanuel, Dick Durbin, and if we allow them to shut down these websites where at least a conservative or in my opinion, just a real American point of view is allowed to be expressed, then we'll be set back. We'll be set back decades.
Yeah, it's a good point, and it's funny you bring up. I've interviewed Dick Durbin before because I used to be a television news reporter here in St. Louis over the years. Yeah. Durbin is one of those politicians who is so practiced in his lying that doesn't matter what question you ask him, he gives you the answer that he was going to give you anyway. It doesn't matter. So I think that even had you been successful in getting a question to him, he wouldn't have answered it.
Right. Well, then you'll get the huge laugh if you go to citizenkelly.com and click on my interview with Dick Durbin. You'll absolutely. In fact, you'll probably. If you look at it, you'll probably say, "Oh, that's the guy." You've probably seen the video; it went viral. But where other reporters from Chicago were physically trying to throw me out.
We're yelling at you. Yeah, I think I've seen it.
Because I was asking a legitimate question. Mike, we definitely need to stand up for our rights. Now is the time. We can't go back to letting these people make us feel like somehow we're the problem or we're doing something wrong. We have a perfect right to stand up, ask legitimate questions, report the news, because if nothing else, Donald Trump has already done a huge service. He has exposed the mainstream media as nothing but liars and deceivers.
Yeah, it's very true. William J. Kelly, the website is citizenkelly.com. I recommend people go there and watch some of the videos, worth the time. William, listen, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas. God bless you, and I'd love to have you on my show sometime.
Awesome. Be happy to do it. Thanks for your time.
God bless you.
All right, take care.